My name is Emily Carter. I am 27 years old. I work in a small office, and I like a quiet life. I like a warm cup of coffee in the morning and a good book at night. I do not want big drama. I only want honesty and peace. I wanted a simple love, and I thought I found it with Daniel Rivers. Daniel Rivers was kind and gentle. He had a soft voice and a warm smile. We met in a small bookstore. He loved books like me. He sent sweet messages and he listened to my stories. He told me, "You are the only woman for me." I wanted to believe him. For some months, everything felt easy and safe. After a while, small things began to change. Daniel answered my messages later. He canceled plans. He said he was busy at work more than before. Once I heard his phone buzz in the bathroom, and he hurried out and put it in his pocket. I felt a little worried, but I told myself to be calm. Maybe he had stress. Maybe he needed help. Still, a quiet feeling in my heart said something was not right. One night, Daniel left his jacket at my place. When I picked it up, his phone fell out. The screen lit for a second, and I saw part of a message before it went dark. The words were short but warm. "Miss you. See you tonight. Claire Morgan." My chest tightened. I did not know Claire Morgan. I tried to tell myself she was a friend. The next day I looked again and found more. I found a photo he had saved. Claire smiling, close to the camera, with a note from him. "You are beautiful." I felt cold. These were not just small words. They felt like proof. When Daniel came back for his jacket, I asked about the messages. He seemed surprised and nervous. He said, "It is nothing, Emily. You worry too much." He laughed, a small laugh, but it felt thin. He changed the subject quickly. He did not answer me with truth. I sat after he left and felt small and sick. My trust broke a little. I wanted to know the truth. I looked for Claire Morgan online. Her picture was simple. She looked kind and calm. She did not look like a woman who wanted to hurt me. I felt angry, but I did not want to hate someone I did not know. I sent her a message. "Hi, I am Emily Carter. I think we need to talk about Daniel Rivers." She replied fast. "Yes, I think we should." My hands shook when I wrote. I did not know what meeting her would be. We met in a small cafe. Claire sat near the window. She looked nervous. Her hands were on her cup. I sat down and for a long time we were quiet. She finally said, "I think Daniel is not honest with us." She showed me messages he sent her. Goodnight texts, plans for the weekend, pictures he called mine. I felt like I had been hit. She looked at me and said softly, "I did not know about you." I said, "I did not know about you either." We were both quiet and both hurt. There was no anger at first. There was only pain. We met again a few times after that. We talked about Daniel, but we also talked about life. Claire told me she had a hard childhood. She said her family did not always support her choices. Her voice became soft when she spoke. She said she sometimes felt not good enough. When she told this, her eyes filled with tears. For the first time since the messages, I felt a deep pity and a strong need to protect her. I told her about my old hurt, how a past love left me broken. When she listened with care, I felt less alone. We sat in silence and held our cups. At that moment I saw she was not a rival but a person with pain. That shared pain made us closer. It made our connection real and slow. A few days later, the city had heavy rain. I saw Claire on the street near my office. She had no umbrella. Her hair was wet and she looked tired. I had my small black umbrella, but I was late for a meeting and I wanted to hurry. When I saw her, something stopped me. I walked over, opened my umbrella, and said, "Do you want to come under my umbrella?" She smiled, a small, tired smile, and said yes. We walked together under the little umbrella. The rain made the world soft and gray. Our shoes went wet, and our hair stuck to our faces. We laughed because our feet splashed in water. We found a small bakery and went inside to wait. The bakery was warm and smelled like bread. We took off our wet coats and sat by the window. The rain made a curtain on the glass. The outside world looked far away. Inside, it felt safe. In that warm place, we talked about small things. Claire spoke about a painting she wanted to finish. She said she stopped painting because she was afraid of failing. I told her about a short story I had left in a drawer. She listened and asked questions. She laughed softly at my small jokes. Her laugh made a small light in the room. I noticed the way she wrapped her hands around the hot cup. I noticed the gentle way she looked at me. The rain had put us together in a simple shelter. The shelter felt like a little home. I felt a warm feeling, different from the pain of Daniel. It felt soft and safe. After the rain, we walked out together. We were quiet, but we walked slowly, not in a hurry. We met more after that. We shared soup on cold nights. We watched films and sometimes we painted. Small acts built trust. When Claire had a bad day at work, I made her tea. When I felt afraid of calling Daniel, Claire sat with me and held my hand. These small moments created a slow trust. We were learning to be honest with our hearts. That night, Claire came in, and we talked until late. We cried and we laughed in a strange mix of pain and relief. The anger in Daniel's voice closed a door for me. It also made another door open, one I did not expect. We stood together by my window and watched the city lights. The quiet between us felt real and full. Time passed and our feelings changed slowly. The change was not fast. It was small steps, a longer handhold, a text at night, 2 shows watched together on the couch. One evening we walked to a small hill outside the city. The sky was pink and orange. We sat on the grass and spoke about our fears. Claire said softly, "I feel something when I am with you. I do not know what to call it." My heart beat fast, but not from fear. I said, "I feel it too." We looked at each other for a long time. Her fingers found mine. We said nothing for a while. I wanted to move back. Part of me was afraid. This feeling was new. I had known men who lied. I was afraid of more pain. Claire's face showed a small fear, too. She brought her hand to my cheek and then put it down. She whispered, "I am scared. I do not want to hurt you." I swallowed and I said, "I am scared too, but this feels honest." She looked into my eyes and after a long breath she leaned closer. Our first kiss was soft and careful. It did not come fast. It came in a calm way, like 2 people who had been lost and finally found a small map. The kiss stayed gentle and warm. It felt like rain after a long dry time. When we moved back, we laughed with wet eyes. The feeling was not just surprised, it was a deep relief. The kiss did not take everything away, but it gave us a new start. We decided to meet Daniel together and tell him the truth. We met in a quiet park. He came and tried to speak like before, but his words felt small now. He said he cared about both of us, and he did not mean to hurt anyone. Claire looked at him and said, "We trusted you." I added, "We will not be part of your lies." Daniel's face turned pale. He tried one more time to make us feel bad. He said, "You are dramatic." But we felt free. We walked away hand in hand. For the first time, leaving him felt like a door closing on a cold room. We stepped into fresh air. After that day, life was not perfect, but it was honest. We learned more about each other. We shared small routines. We cooked dinners, painted, and read. When I felt afraid, Claire stayed and listened. When she felt sad, I made tea and played soft music. The love between us grew slowly, like a plant in winter that finally sees sun. We worried about the world and about what others might say, but we decided to be brave together. Healing was the first thing we wanted. Love came after, quietly. One night, I sat by the window and watched the rain again. The sound of the rain was calm. I thought about how my life changed. I thought about pain and truth and how both can open a new door. I thought about Daniel and how his lies ended a part of my life. I also thought about Claire and how her gentle hand helped me find my way back. The lesson I learned is simple and true. Pain can break you, but pain can also teach you. The truth may hurt for a time, but it can lead to something real. Love can come from where you do not expect. Healing is slow, But it is possible when someone stays and listens. I found love where I thought there was only pain. I found safety in a hand that is gentle and true. My heart is learning to trust again. This is my new beginning. If this story touched your heart, please subscribe. Not just for more stories, but for more moments that make you feel something again.